Hello and welcome, as it is the first day of March 2018. My name is Derek, and like always, everything within your own risk and own reward. Okay, cash. It's at another level or another test of the support recently. It had perfect hits there twice in a row. And this time it came below it. It resisted below it for a little bit. Is this going to be one of those cases of failed move, fast moves to the upside? It might be. Either way, there's got to be a failed move one direction or the other for either the break below support here, but it really didn't go down much, but it did break the key level and stayed there for a week or so. Now a fast move higher. But is this maybe a case of this setting a failed rally too? Because if this rally that has just started fails, that becomes a failed breakout. And the stuff I talked about yesterday as far as failing this level, if it doesn't go through, yeah, we're going down towards here. But we could easily find support at this point. I didn't sell what I had. I bought on the way down. As I stated before, I will buy like basically a couple more times in the middle here before the 757 handle, if it goes there. 1 minute time frame. It all just started here at about 6:53 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now it is about 7:34 p.m. Eastern Time, or 35. Price action rising from 2,500 and change area to almost 3,400. That's a gain of less than 900 basis points, or greater than 30%, while you could enjoy a cup of coffee. And then over the next 5 minutes, the price falls from the 3,400 level down to 2,700 and change. Okay, so what's that in percentage terms? Well, that's about 30% down. Okay, so be it. It's a short-term correctionary move because it took 5 minutes. And then just a bunch of diddly-daddling in here for a few minutes, and now it has risen from this correctionary low of 2,850 rather, and it's at 3,100. So it's went up over 10% in just the last 10 minutes itself. As a trader, you could be like, oh, well, what's the upside to this? Well, that's what I'm looking for, an uptrend. There we have it. A correctionary move down. There we have it. 38.87 would be the number. Well, I guess there's not much of a need to do it this way. Well, that's right where my sell order is, so I'm all fine with that. Because I'm selling around 39. I'd expect it to pierce above. And it's at a big area. I'm not just randomly putting a sell order in. I'm even not just doing it mathematically. Okay, it's this much percentage gain, although that's fine to do. But this 3,900 level represents its previous level of support throughout the start of this year. So that's where I would like to first get into sell. And then, if that happens, my next play would either be sell roughly around the 5,800 number, a pierce above the 57. Or, if I'm selling up here and it goes down, I'd probably look to buy back somewhere. That's a scary question, because that would be a huge fail. I'd probably buy back at around 2,700. And then let's keep doing that. Rinse, repeat. Follow what happens last. If you have a sell order, well, you want to be ready for a new one above and ready to buy it back. And if you have a buy order that comes filled, you want to place the best sell order that's the lowest that you can go below, but for good gains, and then be ready for your next buy order. That's generally how I play my strategy, and this is what I do. However, there's a lot of coins that are showing the same thing. NXS. I already sold this one just a little bit ago here, and it's already starting to keep going higher. Okay, so be it. Because I got another sell order in here at about the 50 handle. And then I'll keep selling these moves higher because I want to ensure that if a move like this happens, I have no problem if this is back in time and oops, okay, we have a sell order at 31. Sell some more at say 49. Where do you want to sell again? Well, let's go 80. Okay, we got it. How do you want to go again? Let's go 120. Oh, you didn't get that. But when you sold last at 80, okay, let's buy back at like, yeah, around 50. Okay, there you go, around there. And then you sold, maybe you say it was around, say around 49 you sold. Oh, well, it came back down here to 30. You buy that back. That's the strategy that I'm looking to do. And then, of course, just say if you sold at like, say, 34,000 here, well, now you're able to buy that back at 18 or 20 or 22 or whatever number. And that when you bought back, you've already sold already because the market's at 41. I woke up to like 3 different sell orders. I've had about 5 or so ones come in already. I'm playing a few dozen codes. But I think, well, I know I should be saying because I can tell how market sentiment's going to work. So there's going to be a time come in where it's like sell order city. You're going to get like 20 happen in a day. It could come to the point where I could just take 8, 12 hours off the computer because I'm sleeping or something, and I'm not able to see all my orders because the markets go crazy during that time, and I get like several sell orders that come into place. I mean, this thing is just pumping right now, as we can see, going higher. If we look at the 1 minute time frame, we can see it's just going really big. This thing was at like 23,000 at the bottom of this hour. Now it's at 42,000 with about 20 minutes to go to the top of the hour. Just crazy, crazy movements, to say the least. Okay, another one which is very interesting that I want to point out too is Voxels. VOX. It's got its ass kicked lately, but it's back up again. Well, not in the last few minutes. This is the 1 minute time frame. Well, it's given a lot of its gains back. I haven't looked at it in a while. Wow, big, decent sized move. Well, I was considering, it's getting to the point where do I start selling this against Litecoin, which the answer now is no. If it would have got higher, I think it was one of those no-brainers. But when you see a rally like this come into play and it gives it back pretty quickly, then you got to be starting to think again about another leg lower. Look at every single time within this downtrend. It goes above the 18 average, tries to get above. We see it test this area and just ultimately fails. This breaks support, decent leg lower. This little failure was within the same support band. And even in this little normal move, it took a few days to get up here, and then it just grinded its way lower, but not a big leg lower, but just something to consider. 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at this more clearly because it's still holding the 18 average of lows. And one other thing of note too is that when you have these downtrends, it can take a few tries in ending the trend of the market. So when I see something like that fail, I'm not too excited about markets like they're great short opportunities or amazing sell opportunities, because I do realize there's more legs go on unless this thing is ready to go to nothing, that the great buying opportunities are going to present itself, because that's pretty much how these games go. Major moves down, major moves up. But it's I guess it's at the area of previous level. This is 1306, which is a resistance point. Support is down to about, I guess you could easily definitely say 1237. So it's in that key area. And if this market does show weakness further on, then you're going to have to give this some reason that it can fail. Then you can do Fibonacci downside based on the breakout lows of 1160 and a high of about almost 1900. You'd be looking to go down to about 850. Let's move on to Litecoin. which against Bitcoin has showing some weakness. It's fallen from this 235 level now down to 190, losing about 45 or so basis points, about 20% from the top. And the double top is not shown on this time frame, but if we take a look at this, say, on a 4-hour time frame, what I'm looking for is a reverse U formation or reverse V, up and then back down, which is the case here. It goes back up to around the same area, which is not, it could be a pierce above, pierce below, or at this point, this was a pierce below. And the support level, we have a range between here and well, where it is now. So it's at a major, major support test. Odds are, the more likely you test it, the more likely you take it out. But at the flip side, whenever I see a move, even if it's been tested for a significant period of time, this being the third, that if it has came from a very good move and it's very extended to the downside, which both cases are true, that even on a bearish situation, it's very common to at least establish a high or lower high, and that would be somewhere you would think around 212, maybe even lower than that. At least something that would at least pierce above this 18 average as a failed breakout. But if there's no support at this point, then where would we look for next key support? Well, below this level of resistance, we're looking at, it could be around 150 or so, if that's the case. Now, it's a little bit deceiving when you look at this against the Bitcoin price, because if we look at this exact same time frame against the US dollar, it shows still more of this neutral consolidation pattern, as it hasn't had any major declines even after the news of LightPay, which was not good news. But really, LightPay was it wasn't a major factor for why people were getting into Litecoin in the first place. But it's holding, to me, pretty good so far on this, because Bitcoin on the shorter term time frame has got a much better look right now. We can see how it's breaking out from its sideways consolidation pattern. Very, very bullish looking setup, where you have a very good break from a key Fibonacci support. We see from point low to point high, have a nice, what looks like a 38.2% down correction to the 18 lows, and then working its way over 6 periods to first get to the 18 highs, keep the 18 average rising, and you do so by, when you come down to support, when you're on a newly rising like this is, you can only stay there for a few periods, and a half a dozen, 7 periods is about as really as many as you'd want to do. So I like how that's been the case. Now, working its way within this previous resistance of a couple days ago, and very bullish looking sentiment that it looks like it's poised to have a test to it, or a new leg rather, to its last previous high in at around the 11,600 area. Okay, I'm probably going to do a physical silver bid video. I've got a little webcam so I can actually show some of it, and I'm just trying to find my silver chart. I see it here. It had an interesting day today, actually, because it just broke out much higher after the dollar index had weak. It fell pretty hard, which was interesting. So this is silver on the daily chart, but when you look at it, say on a 30-minute time frame, it had a nice little volatile for it move, going from 16 low change to about 16.5. So a couple percent move from this low point to this high point. I mean, this is just all hurrah, whatever for a good while, because of the monthly term time frame that has just been going sideways. Even when you include this lower band here from like $14 to like 21, is all neutral, and it's a decent amount from support, and it's even a little bit more more away from resistance. But I'm thinking about just talking about different types of physical pieces of silver, different strategies. or why I buy different kinds and why I buy this, why I buy that, and just different things like that. So I'll probably do that because I got an image that I can just quickly show right now. This is some of my coins that I have. I actually bought this and I paid a decent amount of Bitcoin coin. This is my favorite one. You're the Dog. It's a new one, Australian Mint. I'll be receiving a 10-ounce coin in the mail Friday, tomorrow. I already bought this a kilo one, but I want to get all the different sizes. Just miscellaneous ones like the 1992 World Champion Blue Jays. I got other ones like the 1993. A John Deere, but I got Model G. I haven't found any of those on the internet. And I got a bunch of these Bourbon Street casino coins. I've never been there, but it has $7 redeemable cash value. It's pretty cool because if this gift certificate goes to nothing, you still got something. I got a $50 Eaton's one, Timothy Eaton. There's Eaton Center on downtown Toronto. I used to live near there. But I don't even think you could, that place has got to be out of business by now, but you still got an ounce of silver. I'll show that coin over the weekend. So then, thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.